Hi, welcome back to the Accordion Hangout, where we pick out tunes that we like to dress up and make them, adapt them to the accordion, make them sound a lot better, in my opinion anyway, because this is all my work. Today we're going to go through a song called Lullaby of Birdland. One of my watchers here recommended that I try this out, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play 3 choruses for you. I have some tips, some accordion tips here, some different type of stuff. What I mean by that is I'll play the first chorus straight, and then I play the second chorus completely improvisational, and then I go to the last chorus. However, the bridge, I'm going to show you what I call passing chords in the third chorus bridge. Okay, we'll get to it. Let me play this for you so you get an idea how it sounds. Okay, yeah, one part there was a little rough where I got into the bridge. That was the area where I told you I'm going to show you the exchange chords. So, starting with the beginning, which is a good place to start, I'm going to post the music. I always post the music. You'll see where I'm at so you can understand what I'm doing, what I'm playing, and why I do it, etc. So the beginning, the 4-bar introduction is mainly the last 4 bars of that improvisation that I just played you. So the improvisation starts out like this. taken the last 4 bars and I put it as an introduction here to the main song. Then we go into it. What I've done there is I fashioned some of the chords in that first 8. It's 8 bars that I just played you. The first 8 bars. And what I've done is I've placed some chords in an easy position for your hand. You know, you've got 2 issues here. Number 1 is, when do I play a chord? When do I play a single note? Well, as an accordion player, that's a little difficult sometimes. But right here, I've fashioned the chords on an easy hand basis in the sense that you don't have to jump all over. I know that I have players of different skills. So I'm trying to make it interesting. I'm trying to make it sound good. I'm trying to make it dressy, but it can't be too difficult. And otherwise I'll alienate everybody. So here I go. Let me play that first 8 bars again. Yeah, see, the way the chord, my hand goes, it falls into place. So that's kind of the goal, you know. You want it to sound good, but you don't have to impress the world if it sounds good. You don't have to impress the world with great technique or anything. So, okay, now the next second 8 bars I have fashioned in a George Shearing style. George Shearing's the composer of this song. Now, if you go to YouTube and look this song up, you'll see him and hear him play, and you'll hear him play some of the melody just like this, like I've got written down. Which it's a lot different from that first 8 bar set. Listen to the difference. Here's the first 8 bar set. And here's George's rendition. Yeah, okay. I'll leave that to you to work out. And then we go to the bridge. All right, and then we continue on to the end of the song, the first version. And then I go into the improvisation. So let me play that for you. You can follow along on the music. Again, that's the introduction. So and then we go back one last time on the third go around, okay? And then we come to the bridge once more, where I have recommended what I call, and what I've heard others call, passing chords, okay? This is merely, passing chords is kind of a style that I picked up, but I believe there's really nothing written about it that I know. Anyway, there might be somewhere, but passing chords are, there's three different types of diminished chords in the whole kit and caboodle. You know, you've got a C diminished, and then you've got a D flat diminished, and then you've got a D diminished. Those are three different types of diminished chords. I don't do that every day, but in any event, so that was chromatic, diminished chords, up and down. But there are only three different types. So those are what I use for passing chords, and when I want to. For instance, you see, what I'm doing there is I start out with an A minor, then I get a diminished chord, which is, excuse me, a D diminished, back to an A minor, back to a D diminished. See how I'm exchanging? I'm passing. That's why I call it a passing chord. All right, so what I've done for the bridge is very simple melody line. I have the original chords, the type of chords, for instance, E7, A minor 7 for a bar, D7 for a bar, G major 6 for a bar. But you'll notice that in between the E7 chords, like there's a passing chord. And then the melody line on top is the melody line following the song, in a sense. So let me just play this melody line for you. That's the bridge. And then you can, well, let me do that in chords. It will take you a little while, I think, to master. But I didn't place you in a position where you have to learn a whole page full of notes. It's only 8 bars. So. And for the last 4th bar there, I go from a G major, in that G major 6, go down to a C diminished. Okay? So I'm playing those as quarter notes. However, you could play those as 8th notes, and it sounds a little better. And listen to it with I'm going to play that line 8th notes, although I don't have it written down. But I'll do it again. I'm going to play both of those lines, and I'm going to play them as 8th notes. So I'm going to show you the contrast between the original bridge and the bridge with passing chords. It goes like this. Said. And I'll give you one more thought on this, on these passing chords. I play them as thirds, but I'm not sure. You may have to really practice at that. But so let me play the passing chord bridge in thirds, triplets. Maybe I said thirds. I meant triplets. So here. Okay, well, I think that gives you a lot of work to do, and it's a great song, there's no doubt about it, and George Shearing was a great player, he was a great composer, and you know, I don't have any fingering to introduce you to anything spectacular, because I was coached by a blind man, and as George Shearing was blind. So, but on the other hand, I have been told, and I've heard stories where George Shearing is the inventor of, let's say, the triplet chords that I just played for you, and then at some time after that, or during that time, Leon Sash picked up on the triplet idea. You'll hear that in his playing in some of the songs that are on YouTube. But George Shearing used two hands to master the effect. Yeah, but it can be done on an accordion, and it's done with playing the chord and then your thumb. It's a chord, thumb, chord, and then you got to fly. But I'll leave it there. I hope you've picked up a couple of new ideas. Remember, the intro, the last 4 bars of a song can many times be used as an introduction. And that's what I did here, although I did use the improvisation section. So with that in mind, I'm happy to present this stuff to you. And if you haven't subscribed to me, please do so, because that gives me the enlightenment to go on, and it indicates that you appreciate what I do. With all that said, I wish you a happy day. I'll see you later. Thank you. Bye.